What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Michael Knapp Fishing. So today's video, I usually do this at the beginning of the year and I just kind of forgot. It kind of slipped my mind. Hello, Blue. A 2024 goals video. That's what we're going to do today. I'm going to tell you all the goals for 2024, what we're fishing, what we're trying to achieve, and all that jazz. So let's roll that intro and we'll get into it. Alright guys, so 2024 is going to be a completely different year this year. For those of you who don't know, I've mentioned it a couple of times. I haven't done this big official thing or nothing. I now work for Lose and Strike King. I'm a video producer for Lose and Strike King now, and I have 3 pros that I work with. I'm still not going to tell you who those 3 are. 2 of them are fishing Bassmaster Opens, and 1 of them is a Bass Pro Tour angler. That's all I'm going to say. You can kind of go through and look at the Lose and Strike King pros and maybe narrow it down and figure it out. I don't know, maybe. But you will see, I know one of them you'll see on my channel at some point in time. I don't know when, but I promise you he'll be on my channel eventually. And then possibly the other, possibly all 3 of them maybe. We never know. We'll see. So, goals for 2024. This is always something that I want to set in stone on my channel. This, and I'll be completely honest, guys, this really isn't for you as much as it is for me. Like, I know a lot of y'all are interested, and some of y'all will watch, but this is mostly for me, to hold me accountable. So the goals for 2024, we're going to start off. Number 1, we are going to create more content. Last year, you guys know, we're not going to go into last year. Things got sidetracked. Things happened. I got the short end of the stick. Whatever. Things happened. We ended up like 6 months without any content. It is what it is. That's not happening again this year. We're going to keep on with content. We're going to produce a lot of content. We're going to make a lot of content. We're going to get that content out there. So that's number 1. Number 2, we are going to fish every single white pine marine tournament this year. And we are going to compete. That means we are not leaving, an hour before weigh-in. We're not, we will be there until the very last minute, competing, grinding, trying to get just top. I want to try to be top 10, top 20 in points. Somewhere around there is kind of my goal. Top 10's a little difficult for me because of Douglas. Cherokee is just always been my home lake. Even though I've won more money on Douglas, which I really don't understand how, I understand Cherokee better than I understand Douglas. And don't ask me how that works, that I've won more money on Douglas than I've won on Cherokee. I really can't tell you how that works. I just don't know. But that's the goal, is we're competing every single tournament on white pine. I want to go out there. I want to have a year like I had my first year with white pine. My very first year in the white pine marine tournament trails, I go out there. First tournament of the year, give a little backstory. I don't want this video to be super long, but give a little backstory of my first tournament. I bought my new Falcon. I was at a Major League Fishing event. I blew up my old boat, and I hurried up, got to White Pine Marine. They had my Falcon rigged, ready to go. All I had to do was sign the paper and give them my check, and my Falcon was ready to roll. It took me longer to drive to White Pine and switch all my crap into my new Falcon versus actually doing the process of rigging the boat and signing the paperwork. Like, it really was. Miranda took care of everything at White Pine, and it was phenomenal. So huge thank you to Miranda and Mikey. Mikey's not there anymore, but huge thank you to them. They did everything they could for me, and it was awesome. So right after we did all of that, shortly out, a couple weeks later, I don't even know if it was a couple weeks, it might have been 2 weeks later, the owner of White Pine, Ken, came to me and was like, hey, we want you to be on the White Pine Pro team. And of course I accepted very graciously. I was very excited for that. And that's what essentially got me in with Mercury and Power Poles. You have to have a home marina, all that crap. But there were some people talking. Well, he's not even that good of an angler. He only got a deal because he bought a boat and all this. And that just really irked me. Like, that really rubbed me the wrong way. Pissed me off. So I sat out that year and I said, I'm going to compete. I'm going to do well. First tournament of the year, we were on Cherokee. It was an absolute freaking grinder. There were 200 plus boats. I think I took 12th. Did really well. First event of the year, cashed a check. 2 or 3 events later, Douglas, another grinder of a tournament. Shane and I were kind of, I think we had 5 fish for like 8 pounds. Like, we were not doing well. And I told myself, we are not leaving, period. Like, we're gonna grind this out. We got 20 minutes to weigh in. I made a 10-minute run up to one spot that I knew I only had about 5 minutes to fish, and I caught a 555 off of a bush, and that catapulted us up into the top 15 as well. So I just want to compete. That's the moral of the story. I want to compete like I used to, and just let's do what we know we can do. So from there, we are going to be traveling with, not necessarily with my pros, but we're going to be traveling to a couple of other areas to work with my pros. And I'm going to make content there as well. The very first one of the year is Okeechobee. Y'all know what Okeechobee means to me. It's where my grandfather lived before he passed. My grandfather lived on Okeechobee pretty much my entire life. That's all I've ever known is Okeechobee and my grandfather. You know, I caught some of my first fish there. I've caught some of my biggest fish there. So we are going to Okeechobee. I have actually got a place that I'm staying that is 1 or 2 roads over from my grandfather's house. So we're staying there. We're going to fish around, hopefully, and we may even get to do some peacock bass fishing. Fingers crossed. So from there, we've got 3 other possibilities of tournaments that we're going to be fishing, or not tournaments, I'm sorry, 3 other areas that I'll be fishing that the Bassmaster Opens go to, but we'll lay that out at a later time and date. So as far as goals go, guys, those are like my big bass fishing goals for 2024. Now, there's a couple of other things in there, like when it comes to the content, I want to make a little bit more cinematographic content, maybe. You know, I really want to put this little guy up. I want to get more drone footage, better B-roll. I'm looking at maybe getting a new camera. I'm filming right now on my Canon R5. I'm looking at possibly getting a Sony like my 3 Pros use, because it has a built-in slow-mo mode, and I really love how smooth it is. It looks really well. Possibilities, thinking about it, don't know yet. But so those are some of the other side goals that I didn't really need to say. I know I'm gonna make myself do it this year. So, and then the last and final goal is I want to be there for all of my sponsors better this year than I was last year. Because of everything that happened last year, I want to be there for all of my sponsors this year. You know, Lew's, Strike King, Mock Nation, Glow Up Detailing, White Pine Marine, Spear Point, Proline Baits, True Timber, Mercury, Power Pole. I'm probably missing a couple. Like, there's Angler Tungsten. There's so many people that I work with that I want to make sure that I fulfill my, and it's not that I didn't fulfill my duties last year, I just didn't do it as well as I know I can. That's the difference. I know I could do better than what happened last year. So this year, I'm going to really go all out and make sure I do it right. Guys, if y'all like these videos, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, let me comment down in the comment section below. I promise the next video will be fishing. I know that's 3 weeks in a row that we haven't been able to fish. That this ice storm that we were in has just been wild. So I just wanted to make sure that I had content for you guys, and the next video that you see will either be a East Tennessee Fishing Expo video of me going through and buying baits and stuff, because there are a couple of glide baits there that I'm really after. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet or not and make a video about it, or it'll be Okeechobee. One or the other. We'll figure it out. Like, comment, subscribe, notifications on. Take care, everybody.